All right, you guys, so I'm here with Willie Mac. He's got a show on HGTV coming out titled Renovating the Lou, releasing spring 2022. How you doing, Willie Mac?
Hey, what's up with you, man? Here we are. Let's get this party started.
Let's get it started, man. Willie Mac, man, can we talk a little bit about your process, man? You're a comedian, you're an actor, and you're an investor. Where can we start, man? Let's start with your active projects right now. What can we promote?
Where to start? It's so crazy because I'm like in the mix of just like so many different things. Hollywood is an industry that it's a constant, so close yet so far away thing where it's like you're about to be a star tomorrow, and it's like what? But they never tell you when tomorrow actually comes. Like that's how the process feels. It's like every day is like you looking outside, like it's like the storyline of the kid is waiting for his father to pick him up every day, and the father never comes. Like that's how Hollywood feels. Like I got 3 different shows at 3 different production companies, and either any day any one of these could blow, or they could not. It could just go back to just ground zero. But what I do actually have that's tangible, that's actually happening. So me and my brother are shooting our home flipping show next month, and I'm really excited about that. Like because I was
home flipping show,
huh?
Home flipping show. Yeah,
like the shows that you see on HGTV. I'm gonna have my own one of those, so it's interesting.
Okay.
It's funny because people, when they hear like I'm gonna be on one of those shows, they're like, "Oh, let me know which episode." I'm like, "No, all the episodes. This is my show," because it throws people off that I'm young and black and I have my own HGTV show, and it's like, what? That's crazy.
You're creating your own material, and you're the guy collecting all the checks. There's nobody dividing any of that stuff.
Nah, that's what's beautiful about it.
I was gonna use the same word. That's absolutely beautiful, man. That's what you want. That's what everybody wants. Be the captain of the ship and put that out there.
Yeah, there's still a process to it where there's still some divvying of some checks like that. That's not until you like get a successful show where you are now like the man. It's kind of like when you were watching, let's say, back when Friends, their last season of Friends and Seinfeld, they was getting $1 million an episode.
Right.
But prior to that, it was like their first season, it was like $20,000 an episode. So I'm like, I'm here, but I have this type of potential. But I'm excited about the stuff that happens like around the show. So each episode starts with me doing stand-up, which stand-up is my baby, man. Stand-up is something that I've been doing since 2009. I took a break. I ain't gonna lie. I quit from 2011 to 2014 because I sucked at it. I sucked at stand-up. I wasn't getting no laughs. I was getting booed. I actually had a person throw a tomato at me. It was one of those shows where you could throw tomatoes at the commies, and I mean, within the first 15 seconds, it was like slap. I was like, man, y'all didn't even let me get a joke out yet.
No way, man.
Yeah, but now
they didn't even let you get the joke, and they were already throwing the tomatoes.
If you give somebody that power to throw tomatoes at somebody, they're gonna take it.
I didn't even know they had that, man. That's crazy that they got that, man. I didn't even know that existed. You could throw a tomato at the guy before he even cracks a joke. At least let him do it, and then let's see how the reciprocation is, right? But man, I hear you, bro. So it's all with comedy. It's centered around comedy with you. But with regards to the show, so I'll let you continue.
Yeah, so I'm excited because after the show, because if you're gonna see me doing stand-up all the time, like on TV, now when I come to your city, where are you located?
Hollywood.
Oh yeah, you out here in Hollywood. Duh. Now, like if you was like in Boston, or especially in the Midwest, because the Midwest
I've lived in Boston, so you would have visited me.
Oh, perfect. So when I go to Boston, they'll be like, oh, the dude from that show is going to be out here performing. And we know that he does stand up because he does stand up on the show. So I'm really excited about the stuff that's happening after the show, the brand deals, because that's something that me and my brother was talking about, was like, how do we capitalize on this? Even if we only did one season, how can we make this the best season ever? So we want to be able to get in touch with, like, our company is called Mac Boys. I just got my license plate on my Camaro that has that on it. I got to show you. Is this going to be like a video, or is this just audio podcast?
Video and audio, man. We're going to get the full experience throughout. But on YouTube, it'll be
So that's my license plate. Like I just got that put on my. I have a '92 Camaro, man. That's
man. That's clean, man. Looking clean. Ooh, there you go, man. So it's official. You got the plates and everything. It's real deal. No going back from here. We're ready to go.
There's no going back at this point.
No going back. We got the Camaro, we got the plates, and we're traveling at the speed of inspiration.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna have to write that down. Now you over here dropping gems and shit?
Man, hey man, Willie, man, you too, man. That's inspirational to hear, man. That you're out here making your own content and you're about to just prove everybody out there that you could do it yourself. You and your bro.
The speed of inspiration. Man, I'm telling you now, I'm gonna start using that. That's a dope little line.
Using, man. I heard it from somebody else, so I'm just passing it along.
That's how a lot of these things are. I did say that one day I want to be one of those. I want to be one of those days when people say, you know what they say, but it started from me. Like I want to be that person that starts a quote or a saying, right, and then it gets passed down. They're like, yo, I know who said that quote. That was Willie Mac. He said it like 20 years ago. It's like, what?
Yeah. They're trying to do that with movies. I feel like I see movies and I feel like they're trying to recreate the say hello to my little friend moments here and there. And it's like those things got created so organically. And sometimes you'll watch a show, I'm like, I felt like we were trying to itch towards that. But hey, sometimes it works.
Yeah. What you drinking on?
I'm drinking on a Americano, coffee. I ran out of coffee this morning. Usually I make it on the pot, and then I just had it DoorDashed in. We brought it in. And
so you're a coffee person. Are you one of those people that like, I need coffee to start my day? Or are you like, I drink coffee?
Absolutely, man. I got to start it with the espresso. I used to start with coffee. It started with coffee and cream, and then it went to like a little hazelnut, and then we just got rid of the cream in total, and then we went black, and then now we're doing just espresso, straight black with a lot of ice. It's amazing, man.
That's some thug life stuff, man. I can't drink it just plain black.
Nah, you can't. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good once you get the because with the milk. See, I drink it so much, so you get all that milk. So much of that milk, it slows you down. I need it for the energy, but then I don't want all that extra stuff. And then even just the taste, at a certain point, you drink it so many years, you're like, you know what? I want to get straight to the source. Let's get rid of all that extra stuff. Let's go straight for the bean. That's me, man.
As I've gotten older, my taste for foods and things that I drink has changed. Like when I was younger, like my drink of choice was a Long Island iced tea. Like I would drink a Long Island iced tea. Like, give me 2 Long Island iced teas. Like that was my go-to drink.
You can't go wrong with it.
Have you ever had a Long Island iced tea?
I have, yeah. They're great. I mean, isn't it like a little bit of a jungle juice type of idea, right?
It's a jungle juice. It was the cheapest way to get really messed up at the club or the event, wherever you at, because it's like 5 different liquors, like gin and whatever.
Yeah, right.
But now, as I've gotten, like maybe within the past 2 years, I started drinking old fashions. I just became like a
old fashioned.
Yeah, whiskey guy. I'm a big whiskey and bourbon dude. Like I now drink that straight. Even like with some foods, I will drink. I will have only like what like I like black olives. I don't know how that started. Literally this year, I just had a taste for black olives. And
black olives. Before. Where'd you get a black olive from? Where'd you just start having black olives? Like, was it something you had and you were like, you know what? Can we get some extra black olives in there? Can we throw a little?
I had one. I went to a Italian restaurant and I had what I think I'm gonna mess up the name. It's called like a caprese or whatever. It's where it's like tomato, mozzarella cheese, and then they have
the provolone with the provolone.
Yeah, and you just eat it like that with the black olive. And I was like, this is bomb. Then I only had the black olive left, so I had ate a couple of them. I was like, this is actually pretty good. And now I eat black olive straight, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? How did this happen to me?
Man, that's awesome, man. So right now you're doing the old fashions as of the quarantine. You said maybe two years ago. You said as of like 2 years ago you've been doing the old fashions. Same here, man. I same here, but I also just like I like the variation as well. Maybe because I got out of these days I haven't played with it. I kind of put it away, but I had the whole kit. You know what I mean? I had the shaker and the whole thing, and I was just like, we took the bar to the house, and I was just like, making it, and then I did the old fashions. You throw a little orange peel, and
Yeah.
it's nice, man. It's nice. It's all nice, man. It's nice. That's real cool, man. So as of the quarantine, let's talk about the show. Let's go back to the show, HGTV, and what's the name of the show?
Renovating the Lou. So
Renovating the Lou.
Yeah, the Lou is that's short for St. Louis. That's where I'm from. So yeah, it's been like 5 years in the making for this show, like a pitching and just getting the right production company together, and the
5 years.
5 years.
Wow.
5 years, and it's interesting that now I will tell people who know that I'm doing this now are like, hey, me and my brother Flip on, can you help me get an HGTV show? You think it's that easy? You think I just, oh yeah, hold on, bring, like, hey, someone said they want a show too. Like y'all don't understand the process that this was. Me and my brother have been flipping homes for 5 years. We've been pitched. We came up with the right idea, and it was just the right. It was also the right timing. When we were being pitched, it was in the middle of that whole Black Lives Matter rallies and the protest and all of that other stuff. And so they was getting a little, they probably got a little slack for like, hey, where's your urban shows? And it's like, okay, let's capitalize on this.
Right. Can we talk about those no's and just all that other stuff leading up to it, man? Because I know it must have been a journey.
It was definitely a journey. We definitely got a lot. We have 3 big no's that happened to us along this journey. And I am glad that we are where we're at now. I'd rather it got picked up now than it did 5 years ago, because we was pitched 5 years ago, and then the production company was like, y'all need to do bigger homes because HGTV wants big homes. That's what they said. And I'm like, we don't do big homes. We don't have those $500,000 properties. We don't even have $500,000 to even do those properties. Because when you watch a lot of those shows, they were like massive homes, and like everyday people could not buy these homes. These were for like only the rich and wealthy. And then
absolutely.
Then
a lot of that stuff requires capital up front, especially when you're doing it all by yourself with a lot of things. I knew a guy that had a sauce company. He was doing it big. Whole Foods wanted him to bring in the sauce, and they needed him to do like 500,000 cans up front. And they were like, and we'll go from there. And he's like, I ain't even got that kind of firepower to make that kind of sauce. And you don't even get that return until afterwards, maybe. And so
maybe.
So
then it turned into a conversation of so it became this long process, but then I like how they're doing it now. So it's a bit of a docu-series, meaning like, have you ever watched HGTV? Are you familiar? You know how the shows are. I'm
familiar with the shows, absolutely. I've caught pieces of it, but as of recently, I haven't been hitting a lot of TV, but I'm familiar with the style of TV making, yeah.
So this is now, they're doing it more like a reality show. So it's like a reality show of brothers who flip home versus it just being, John, we bought this house today, let's fix it up. Oh no, we have a problem, fix the problem, let's sell the house. Like that's
right.
Now they want to get on the personal side, like they want to see the backstory of our families. They want to see a little bit of like maybe our personal struggles and our personal developments, and like, hey John, I'm not gonna make it. I got a show out in da. So they might come with me to film my show or whatever. So they want to really follow this journey, and then at the end we still fixing these homes together. So that's really exciting that whole process is happening, and just like they're not just shaking up the channel with just bringing in diversity, but they're shaking up the channel with just the formatting of how the show is going to go.
Absolutely. Now, how do you feel about putting it out there? Because it sounds like in order for the show kind of succeed, you got to put in a lot of the personal within the, also it's a dance between the business and then the whole lead up into it, right? The reality aspect of it. You're like it's like you're a professional, not even, I'm not going to say vlogger, because it's a way step up. You know, you got a show, you got a whole thing centered around a certain cause. But what's that like creating, you know, just moments? Is it all natural for you guys, or do you find yourself sometimes being like, all right, we got to put a script? Or is it no script, man? You and your bro just, you know, putting it together and you know.
I'm interested to seeing how this will go myself. And when I say that is because I've been in reality and in the spotlight since I was 22. Like, it's not, I'm used to having my life put on blast. I'm used to, like, it doesn't happen anymore. But like when my show was on years ago, like I remember being at the malls for hours, taking pictures with everyone and speaking to them, and people just not giving you any, you sitting there, you might be like, I remember this. Okay, I had sex on College Hill. It was pretty, I had sex on the show. And like, I'll be out on a date with like a chick and people will come up to me, oh, Willie, we seen you having sex, da-da-da. And I'll be like, this was something I did on the show. And like, they will make people didn't care because this is just something that they related to, and they've been like, what? And now they see me, now they putting two and two together, like, hey, I'm sorry, I don't know who this lady is, but hey, Willie, when you was, I'm like, shh, man, no. So I've always had my life in the spotlight. I've done the red carpets, I've hung out with celebrities. Now my family hasn't. Now my family is, they're very secluded, they're very private, they don't put their business out there. So now on paper, they're like, yay, we're ready, let's be HGTV stars. But I also had to let them know, like, look, people are gonna start coming up to you. Your privacy is going to be gone. Like, this isn't like some, like, you do this and now you're done. This is, you do this and when you're at the store, people are gonna start not just one, like, you're not gonna just get the cool fans where they're just like, oh, we love you all. You gonna get some people that's gonna cuss you out, some people that's gonna hate you, that's gonna criticize you, they gonna call you ugly, they gonna call you fat, they gonna say this, and that. But as long as you ignore them and just, you know, it's hard to ignore. It's hard to ignore because like people tell you all the time, don't read what the blogs say about you, don't read the comments, but you read the comments. Right. So I hope they're ready. They say they are, and we will see.
Well, you pre-warned them about that negative, because there's a lot of that negative, and you, especially on the internet, man. There's a lot of these internet negative people, man. I don't know what it is, man. I guess because you could just hide behind the screen, but you know what? That's awesome at the same time, because it's a new world, right? And if they want to be a part of the new world, right? And it's an awesome opportunity. And look at that, man. That's an awesome experience you're going to provide for the whole family, just for everybody. You know, that's a cool thing, man. Yeah. Business, it's filmmaking, it's awesome, man. You're with your bro. That's sweet, man. Who's older, you or your brother?
I'm the oldest brother. He's just the smartest one. I'm just the one that comes up with the ideas and is super creative. John is the brains behind this. We're the perfect 1-2 punch. I'm the person that's like, hey, John, my brother came up to me years ago and was like, maybe like in 2014. He's like, what you doing with all the money that you're making in commercials and just comedy and stuff? I was like, oh, it's stuff stacked in the bank. And he was like, you're stupid. And I was like, what? He was like, you just gonna let the banks make money off your money? And I was like, what you mean? He was like, bring your money to St. Louis and let's
make a move.
Yeah. So then I was like, all right. So while we was doing that, I was like, being in the entertainment industry, I was like, let's film us doing all of this stuff. Let's film us fixing these homes.
Nice.
I was at first I was doing it for the gram. I was the person that's like, hey, me and my brother just bought a new house, like ha. Like, it was one of those things. And I will say, females treat you differently when they know that that's what you're doing. Like when you say I'm in Hollywood, I'm an actor, they're like, everyone's a fucking actor in Hollywood. Like, you're not saying nothing new. Or like, hey, I'm a comedian. They're like, oh, we got us another comedian, whatever. But now when it's like, oh, me and my brother flip homes, they like, girl, Willie Mac and his brother be flipping homes. You know that, man.
He's up to something.
Yeah, he up to something. He got some money. He 10-year plan. Like,
he ain't chasing this headshot back and forth thing, man. He's flipping houses, making moves.
Houses. But it wasn't always that easy for me, man. Because like I was saying, like in 2014, I was homeless. Like I didn't have a place to stay when we were starting this off. Like I broke up with this chick, and she ended up kicking me out, and I didn't have anywhere to go. So I was like doing a lot of couch surfing. I ended up living super far away. I only had a bike at this time, not a motorcycle, like the two pedals. Like, and I would have to ride my bike. Like I had an audition. I had to ride my bike to the train station, take the green line to the blue line to the red line, take a bus and ride my bike to the audition. Like it would be like a 3.5, 4 hour day. Like I would come into the audition room at first, so all sweaty, until I started just like, I put my shirts in my book bag, and when I got there, take like a 5-minute break, put my shirt on and go up to the audition. And then eventually, things started taking off and things have been better. So I had to reinvent myself in that time period, where every day I forced myself to listen to a new motivational speech every day. On YouTube, I started studying how to be an editor. I ended up being a TV editor for a couple of years, and that's how I was able to kind of bounce back. And I just I was like, what did I do wrong in stand up that now that I want to go back, that I could do differently so I can succeed? And that became like my new focus on just being. It humbled me. When you're begging for a place to stay on somebody's couch, I was sleeping on people's floors because somebody else was already sleeping on their couch. Like it was, and I was like, how do we not get here again, Willie Mac?
There we go. Yep. That's what I meant when I said some of the good things, like that's what I meant. Just discoveries like that. How do we get out of this?
Yeah. So I figured out how to get out of it by, like I said, reading. My brother helped me when he was like, hey, let's put your focus on real estate, not just buying shoes and cars and chains. I was like, all right, cool. So while I was doing that, I started, like, you ever see the free classes on Facebook, be like 3-day free trainings, and then like,
yeah.
So I started going to all of those. Every single free one that they had available, I was there. I never end up paying for like now that you're here, if you really want to learn, you got to pay $20,000 for our program. I'm like, I'm out.
Right.
So I took all the little gems that they gave me, and I went on like YouTube and Google, and I really studied all that stuff. So I was able to talk about financing. I was able to like kind of talk to go along with what I'm doing. And
nice.
And that's when HGTV first the bug first got into HGTV's head. They saw a video that I posted on YouTube. It's still on there. Like if you ever look up, it's called Flipping Max, MACC, Flipping Max, and like type in my name, you'll see the very first thing that I edited that I threw up on YouTube that got them interested in me. And so, yeah, that's so now.
Nice, man.
Yeah, so now we're in like the finishing touches of the contract negotiations and all that other fun stuff. But this is a blessing. I am very excited to be a part of this and just this whole movement of sorts.
Absolutely, man, and super stoked for you and your brother, and just for the whole opportunity, man, for everybody. That's awesome. Do we want to shout out to family?
Hey, what's up? If my family's watching, when they watch, hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, we doing this. We about to be HGTV stars. I went from being on the blackest channel on TV to the whitest channel on TV.
There we go, man. The takeover.
The takeover.
That's awesome, man. That's just cool that's happening, and that's just wicked sweet. So what about your production crew? You guys got like a boom operator? How, is that being brought in from an outside perspective, outside source, or how you guys, with the behind the scenes aspect?
Well, a lot of the behind the scenes aspect, you said it as if you do this, like this is where you're like putting in your resume to me, like, do you need a boom operator? Like, maybe. Why? It's like, oh, I got like three. Like you open up this curtain, it's just like all cameras and just sound equipment back there behind you.
I got that, and I know a lot of people, man. I mean, I do got connections if you need that, but I mean, I just meant like, because it's an intimate thing, and I've had friends. I've had friends who have had MTV shows, reality shows, and it just falls apart because once they brought in the camera guys and then they were kind of pushing for certain things like drama or things of that nature, they pulled the plug on that on the family side. They said, you know what, whatever we got to do to make this stop, it's just a little funky. So that's why I asked, because I
was teasing you. But nah, they so we got a production company it's a really big production company, and they're doing all the camera and the audio and all that other fun shenanigans. But I do want to, after this is okay. So here's the real fine behind the scenes type of stuff that, you know, ain't really supposed to be said, but
you don't have to put nothing out there. You don't have to.
I know that ain't no gun in my head, but it's just I want people who are interested in like doing this stuff. It's kind of like exposing, like when you hear artists expose behind the scenes of the music industry, or you hear people exposed to behind the scenes of a lot of these things. So the first 3 seasons, the way contracts and negotiations are worked up, especially when it comes to reality shows, is that the production company is who you make the deal with. Like right now, I'm negotiating with the production company with my lawyers and my whole team or whatever. And then after season 3, Lord, let us go to season 3. Then you start to negotiate with the networks. So now you bypass the production company and you now negotiating with the network that's where the real money comes in. And I had a conversation with like my team. I was like, maybe in season 3, by that time, maybe we'll have our own production company, and we will be the production company that gets to be the negotiating factor, because you have to have a production company in order to shoot these shows. You can't necessarily, I mean, I don't say you have to. There are a couple shows that are like, we didn't have a production company. It's like, okay, you found the only 2 people on the whole internet that don't, but fine. But usually you have a production company. And so yeah, I really want to focus on the business side of it, because I want where the real money is. It's cool to be the talent, but it's better to be that person where you start getting money for the rest of your life. So the way right now, if like we'll get a decent amount per episode right now, but if they ever re-air these episodes, only the production company gets the residuals. They're the only ones getting royalties. So I want to get myself in a position to where I get the royalties. Like,
absolutely. So how about with regards to like where you guys are picking locations and things of that nature? Are you guys able to do that fun stuff though? Are you looking for the homes and all that stuff?
So we're looking for we got the first home where we're going to be shooting at, and it's in not Los Angeles. It's in St. Louis. So all of our episodes and everything will be based in St. Louis. So I leave next month. Well, I'll probably leave at the end of this month to go to St. Louis to really just start prepping and just like really designing the place and with my brother and trying to get all those details. So once we do start rolling, it kind of flows like water. Because
absolutely.
I am a big believer that people need to know about real estate. I'm a big believer that even if you don't have, like some people come up to me now like, oh, Mac, I want to get into real estate, but I ain't got $1 billion like you. I'm like, man, I ain't got that type of money. I just knew how to turn my $10,000 into more. And that's all it was. Like you can buy a house in St. Louis for $10,000 to $15,000. A lot of people like, what, $10,000 to $15,000? Like, don't get me wrong, the house needs a lot of work. It's not like it's this move-in ready house unless you're a crackhead and you're like, oh, perfect.
but get some sticks and some little fire and we're good to go. Right, man.
So,
right.
But with that $10,000, you can sit on it. And then until you either have the money to fix it up, do it, or you could just resell it to somebody else. That's what wholesaling is. Like you bought this property for $10,000. Now I know you're looking for property. You might got extra couple bucks. I'm like, oh, I'll sell you this property for $13,000. You're like, what, $13,000? Like, yeah. So I sell it to you for $13,000. I made me a $3,000 profit. So that's another way me and my brother bought some of these homes. We bought some of these rundown homes. We know that it needs about $40,000 in it, and we'll let the buyer know. We'll let you know, like, oh, your house needs about $40,000 in it, but you can sell it for like 70, 80, or you can just rent it out. They're like, cool. So we'll sell it to you, keep that little $3,000 to $4,000, do about 4 or 5 of those a month, and you move.
moving. You're doing good. Okay. Hey, man, that's real sweet, man. That's real exciting. Okay, St. Louis, too. That's awesome, man. That's real cool. So you're going out there at the end of this month?
Yeah, I'm going out there at the end of this month to start prepping. Yep.
Very nice. Very nice. Very exciting, man. Well, hey, Willie, it's an absolute pleasure to have you, man. Again, how can we find you on social media?
Find me on social media everywhere. There's 3 places I would like for you all. My personal page is Willie Mac, WILLIEMACC. Then where I'm doing all the behind the scenes photos of our show is Mac Boys Properties. That's MACCBOYZ Properties on like Instagram, and you'll see all the behind the scenes and what we're doing. And then I have a podcast that I do all the time called Afro Noodles with me and my boy. So yeah, check those 3 things out, see what I'm up to. I stay really busy, and thank you for having me, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you absolutely for sharing your story with us and your process and all these exciting things taking place, man. Can we get the names of the shows again that we're promoting?
Yeah, just look up Renovating the Lou. Yeah, and once you see me on the networks, I'm the only black person on there, so it's not like you got to be like, which show? It's just that guy. So you'll see me, and like I said, follow Mac Boys Properties, and you'll know everything that's going on, air dates, and blah blah blah.
All right, sounds good to me, man. Renovating the Lou, Willie Mac, coming up, HGTV.
Oh yeah.